did a fancy party trick.
Love it.
Gotta keep it interesting, you know?
Yeah. Love the CD art.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, need it to be up.
It's taking me back.
I know. I saw CDs
CDs
in
are
a
great.
music museum recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, yeah, right. Part of history.
It's true. It's
Part of history. I'm used to seeing tapes in there, but the CDs kind of took the wind out of
like
my
at
sails a
LACMA,
little
there's
bit.
an exhibit called like digital something, and they have like an old Mac computer in there, you know?
Yeah.
That's history now. Like that
Sure.
old, yeah. It's
Do you have any CDs that you can't get rid of?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get rid of a lot of them just because.
But you can't play them, or do you ever play them?
I have a CD player.
Oh, and so you play the
Yeah.
CDs?
Well, I had a stereo. It's in storage now, but yeah.
They're the
I
best.
plan on having a nice stereo system that allows for cassette, CD, vinyl. Like I think having as many options is great, especially for our generation because we grew up through a lot of different mediums.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have tapes? Like, I guess I
Yeah.
remember tapes a little
I
bit.
had some tapes. My dad had a lot of cassette tapes.
Yeah.
But I think tapes are coming back, and I think CDs are kind of in a little way. But vinyl for sure has been like
Sure.
definitely.
Which is why I think tapes has a chance, because tapes is analog as well.
Yeah, it's a warm sound. It's different.
And it's like
unique.
More of a cool. I don't know if CDs will come back the way vinyl came back ever,
Yeah,
but tapes might.
I would agree with that.
Thoughts, Christine? What do you think?
I mean, I was
hard
rocking
to-
CDs until very recently, until I got my new car like 6 months ago.
Right.
I had a
gonna
6
scooch.
CD player
Scooch.
little system in my car. I loved it. I absolutely
Yeah.
loved it. So I don't know. To me, they make, they stuck around more than tapes for sure. So I don't know. Is that a comeback? Or did people just is it the last thing people got around to throwing away?
The CD player.
The CDs, yeah. I mean, some of these, so I put like CDs that I inherited from my sister and like were significant to me or her or both of us. And like some of them are disintegrated, like they just aren't going to work anymore.
Right.
I feel like, I don't know, what's the most durable of all the mediums?
Like a tape.
Tape?
Probably a tape.
Well, then
Because it would
not.
take a lot to scratch, Like a record could get scratched, even though obviously records last.
I guess tape is like it could melt if it's like
Sure.
But
Yeah.
that's
Right.
most things if it gets.
Yeah,
too
you wouldn't want to
hot.
leave it in a storage unit in Tucson, a tape. But probably or a vinyl or a CD. Yeah,
No,
anything's
I
going
mean,
to die
anything.
in massive heat. Yeah.
Right.
If you microwave it, it's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like CDs, they're digital, and so I don't know. I just don't see them lasting I think tapes will last longer than CDs, tape decks.
Okay.
Even though we didn't really,
Going to be our
we kind of just missed
ancient
tapes,
scrolls one day.
Yeah.
right? Like tapes, tapes were big right before us, I feel like.
I
Yeah.
owned like a little tape recorder though, and blank tapes that you could like stick in there and then
Same.
record your voice. And I would practice
Sure.
like singing and
Yeah.
stuff and like,
But you never bought Britney
I never
Spears'
bought-
tape,
no, that's true.
in the 80s and the late 80s, it was oh shit, I got the new
Bon Jovi's tape.
Yeah, I got the new thing. What you wanted was the tape. That was the thing
I
you wanted to
miss
get. And then the
the-
CD came pretty quickly.
I miss like the little Discman,
Yeah.
That was fun. And I was always like dropping it on the bus, Be like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Well, then they always hyped up that it's like anti-skip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
And
anti-skip.
And it's still- you're
and you
like-
just shake it and it's it skipped.
They're full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anti-skip.
And then but after that came like the iPod Nano. Or,
Yeah.
right?
Well, just
Like
the
I
first
still have
iPod.
mine. It doesn't work, but
The Nano.
that little Nano.
I have
yeah.
the square little Nano. Is that
I'm
the
like-
Nano or is there a smaller one?
No, the Nano is the square, right?
Okay, I have that, and it does still work, but it can never fit more of my music than it couldn't get up to past R or something. So there's a
Damn.
lot of bands that got cut off.
Yeah, the iPod was big.
Right.
Oh yeah, that was a big
In your
day.
pocket.
Like
Everything.
bigger than
1,000 songs.
before the iPhone, right? Like
way before.
Yeah,
iPod
way
was first.
before.
Yep.
So it was just a simpler, dumbed down device that could essentially just play music.
Well, and it could hold,
Photos.
5,000 songs
So, yeah,
Right.
I guess
or
that's
whatever,
the
which
word.
at the time was
MP3s, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because otherwise you'd have a Walkman with like
wish-
12 songs on each CD.
I wish they made more innovations in storage.
Oh, they have.
Doesn't feel like it. I'm always running out.
Well, that's because we have more and more that, now we can take videos and we have more and more that takes up space, but we have way more space.
Well, I still need more somehow, so
We need more space.
we need more space.
We'd like more space, please.
the American way.
Anybody.
What was the capacity of that first iPod? It was like 5 gigs or something.
1,000
less.
songs.
Was it?
It's like less than 5 gigs, I think.
I think it was, I forget exactly how much, but the hook was like 1,000 songs in your pocket.
Brilliant.
Something like that.
I don't remember the marketing campaign,
Yeah.
but that's cool.
I'm gonna give it a Google.
And that was like the must-have item now.
Or Steve Jobs was like, he used the tiny pocket and he took it out of that. And he was like, we finally know what this pocket is for.
That was the Nano.
That was the Nano.
Yeah.
Wow.
People were like, okay, baller move.
4 gigs. The first one. 4 gigs. Now your phone is probably like 250 or 500 gigs.
Damn.
But what was on there was really good. You had to be really selective about what you wanted on it from your iTunes or whatever you had downloaded. So like, it was a great selection. Like you could really put whatever you had on that on
Carefully
shuffle.
curated.
Right.
If you did it right.
Yeah.
I did not. Which
And
is
you're
why
like-
I never got past R.
That's funny. But like, you always had a friend, like a tastemaker. Like we had Jordan, or like you were the friend of everyone to like, I just bought a new iPod. I need to come over and load it up with cool music. Mm-hmm. Culture has always favored tastemakers. Like at every stage of the music, because even now we have streaming, right, which took over the iPod like realm of like you have the songs with you.
Yeah.
Now they're streaming, so you get them from anywhere. But we still like playlists and tastemakers are still like of the utmost importance. Mm-hmm. And if you go before iPod, it's obviously like radio people and like
Right, DJs.
Yeah.
They're like like you need filters. Like they're kind of the filters.
yeah, we kind of need someone to tell us like
Or
what's cool a little bit.
right. Huh. Or at least
We're like children.
yeah, especially if they have a good track record too, trusting their,
Yeah. I guess it's not like we need someone to tell us, but yeah, there are certain people who you look to.
Yeah,
Right.
look
For that.
You just look for the abridged version, the Spark Notes. Mm-hmm. Like, what do I listen to? I can't possibly listen to everything. I think music. We've talked a lot about this on the podcast, like how to find new music, but it can be overwhelming because there's just so much,
Yeah.
and like that you're just seeing this small fraction, and even if you genuinely want more, it's like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never really seek out new music. You're like the best about it. You're like,
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're really good.
You're
I
digging.
think, and I'm learning like every music fan is kind of different. Not everyone is gonna dig the way other people do. There's like a level of like searching and digging.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are happy with like what they know and they just take recs as they come, and that's fine. Like I'm not judging.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
there's
try
so
to
many
find,
ways.
like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
discover.
find, if I find like a song I'm super obsessed with, I'll try to make like that radio station, or
sure, find more like
just
it.
find more like it.
For sure.
That's kind of how I cast my net.
I guess we always kind of rely on an expert. It's like you took the time to find all the music. Like, I guess I could spend like, 100 hours of my life trying to find that, but you've done it.
Right.
So like, why don't you just tell me what's good? Or like,
Yeah.
you went to medical school. Like, you just tell me what medicine I should take. Like, so I don't have to do all this research. Like, you did it, and now we'll all use you as a resource. Like, you found all the cool music. So now I can just skip right to you just telling me what's cool,
Yeah.
So it's also like a convenience for people, not just like, I'm afraid to make my own opinion kind of a thing.
Right. And I think maybe some people don't feel like they need to discover new music,
Yeah, I think I just
Like
feel
they're
like
just stuck kind of like listening to the same stuff, and then they go back and they never really like have the like urge to like step out of, their comfort zone musically.
Some
But-
people aren't even drawn to music.
Right.
Like, some people don't fill the silence, I find, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the ability to sit in silence is incredible.
Well, sure, and I
But you're right. Yeah, some people just don't really care
like,
much for music.
A
Right.
lot
But
of
that's
people.
rare. That's rare,
It
isn't
is
it?
not rare. A lot of people just don't like. I didn't really have music playing in the background of my house ever. Like we didn't play music in my house.
Yeah, we didn't.
We
that
were a
often.
TV house.
Same.
But you had like records. You had a place of music. You had like
Right.
instruments.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't have any of that.
Was not a musical home.
We had like speakers and stuff and CDs.
Yeah.
They were around.
So there's a love for music. Like, oh, we love this Van Morrison song, and when it comes
Yeah.
on the radio, like we're singing it and we're jamming. Like we treasure this song, but it's not a musical home.
Yeah, totally. It wasn't like ever present.
Yeah. What about for you? Was there a lot of music on?
A lot of TV, but then there was we knew they had albums, and they would put them on sometimes, and I'd flip through them, and then we were kind of a musical family. Like I knew that my mom was in choir growing up, and my dad was a guitarist. Like he had a guitar. I didn't see him play that much, but then my brother started playing the drums, and then I started playing the bass, and we did kind of just become like a pretty musical, loud house. Like if Jared wasn't drumming, I was playing the guitar or bass.
Well,
Sweet.
Yeah.
the drummer's house is where everyone's going to come to make all the noise too.
Yeah.
We don't want our kid to be a drummer. Oh shit. But we do. Though. We do. Yeah.
But yeah, it was
So, hey.
fun.
You're in Tucson.
Hey.
How are you liking it? Like what
Yeah.
what did you expect of Tucson?
I wasn't sure what to expect, but all I heard was it was just like a cool artsy town with great scenery, good food, and like friendly people. And so far, that's all.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Has anything
checks out.
surprised you? What's been the biggest surprise about Tucson?
We told you you'd be in the hot seat.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
surprise.
No, there hasn't been a moment where you're like, wow, I didn't realize it was going to be like that.
I mean, have we even gotten out of the house that much? What have we done? We've putzed.
I mean, we were
putzed
even just
around.
the yard. I don't know, just
Right.
looking around. Like, well, like our family was here. Like Michael was like, dude, I did not know it'd be like this many saguaro cactus. You know, like those cactus are. You think you're just gonna see a few? They're fucking everywhere. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
That is a little. It feels a little like you're on a movie set at first.
Yeah, like Asteroid City.
Yeah, like it almost is like, whoa, they don't look real because
Yeah.
there's so many and they're so just like striking.
Yeah, they're
Right.
like a lot of them are susical. You know, they just
Yeah.
look
Very
like
Susie.
silly and
Definitely.
funky.
So yeah, that was maybe a little bit just like, whoa. And just seeing them in the hills driving around. Yeah. And I think the distance out here is,
I was gonna say that drive from LA,
yeah.
you're just like 7 hours through the desert. I mean, as soon as you
Right.
get out of LA. You know, and then I don't know, how did you go? You went up, not through Palm Springs.
You passed
skirted
Vegas.
it.
No.
Like you went
I
down by
went
the
10.
Salton Sea, or no?
The
Okay.
10.
The
Yeah.
10, yeah.
We're past like under Joshua Tree.
Under Joshua Tree. Is that it?
Over.
Doesn't go through San Diego. No, it
No.
goes up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you spit out like right at Phoenix. Yeah, and then that like one rocky passage where you're like back and forth and you just decline in elevation so dramatically. It's cool.
Yeah.
There was one day I drove. I
Oh,
think
yeah. That was
from
beautiful.
LA to, or maybe we're in San Diego for Thanksgiving or something. Anyways, drove from there to Tucson. And I just remember it was like 75 and sunny in San Diego. So nice and perfect. At one point I got high in the elevation and like there was snow on the mountain. Then I got down and it was like eventually 85 degrees in Tucson. It was just such a funny day. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
but it is expansive and it feels kind of never ending as you're just making that drive.
Yeah. And then even out here, just like in between driving from Phoenix to Tucson, I felt like becoming even more removed kind of from like just
You're
things.
leaving society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you feel that out here. It's, obviously it's like a modern city, right?
Sure.
But, the further out you go, I mean, yeah, you really can start to like really hear your thoughts more.
Yeah.
Right. It's like what we were talking about, the decibel level of cities these days.
Yeah, like
is
the noise floor of New York
LA
City.
and New
Yeah.
York, like they're just loud. No matter like what neighborhood you're in, it's either a car alarm or dogs barking or honking. It's just like
Yeah.
sometimes it's a combination of construction, right?
Sure.
It's just like
Even in like a
Ambulance.
Bus
silent
drives
moment,
by.
there's like
Buzzing.
there's just
the noise level
Just-
is already just humming.
Yeah.
And so I love that out here that you can get away from some noise and it's quiet and you can like see the stars. Like I like that.
Yeah.
Definitely like that.
It's a little bit of a like detachment from chaos. I don't know.
Right.
Calming.
Well, like I said, it's like you're still close enough to things when you want to do stuff, but you can get that quietness a little easier. You know, you have to go, like if you're in LA proper, you have to go pretty far to get some quietness just for the day.
Yeah.
Like a little hike can maybe do it, but sometimes the hikes are still kind of close to the city.
Too.
Right?
But those always surprise me, like going to like Franklin Canyon.
Yeah.
It's like,
It does
I was
get-
like, oh, I'm not really that far. And I don't even feel like I'm in a city anymore.
Right.
But I'm still like in LA.
Those are nice.
Yeah. There
But
are
kind
those
of
little
deceiving.
Yeah. Same with
like-
like even Griffith, like, cause Griffith is like,
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I love all those hikes.
yeah. And you're like in the heart of you're not in downtown, but like you're like in it.
Yeah, like Hollywood's right there.
Yeah. But it can feel a
Yeah.
little like, detached. I think that's why those places are so popular because
Right.
like your only respite for not being in the city is just to like sit in a park for the day.
I mean, Central Park, it's like
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
insane that way. You're just like, wow, you could just spend
Yeah.
weeks camping out in there. I feel
Yeah.
like
Shout out to Central Park. What a great idea.
I know.
Because that could have so easily not happened.
Yeah.
They could have just been like, no, put more buildings
yeah,
there. You
what
fucking
do you-
idiot. What do you mean? Yeah. Central Park's amazing.
It is. They're walking around.
Who
man.
decided that like not here, guys?
but also like
Who's
I
right.
don't know
and,
if that
and
or
how
that,
many blocks? Like who was like it needs to go, like,
Right.
all like miles.
Right. One
And
guy
then
was like, it
turn.
should zigzag through the city. And they're like, shut up, fucking
It needs to be
Franz.
a big like someone was like it needs to be a big rectangle. Everyone was arguing about the shape of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a rhombus.
Right.
Yeah.
I want a trapezoid.
Yeah. Like, we're not doing a trapezoid.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here,
over
bro.
my dead body we're doing a trapezoid.
Yeah. I'll burn this city down.
Yeah. Yeah, it is funny how I'm sure there was a lot of like old money, rich industry that was like a part of it probably.
Yeah.
Like,
I would assume.
you know.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Okay. We're Googling it.
But yeah, they're like the development
who?
there in Manhattan isn't ideal. Like they built a bunch of
Like
stuff
I'm
on
like Rockefeller
like
probably was
swampy
like
coasts, like the shoreline, and they are
yeah.
dealing with some sinking issues. And
I'm not saying New York is without issue.
Oh yeah.
I was just saying Central Park
Central Park
was a good call.
Kudos.
Could
Yeah,
have
I mean,
easily not happened.
When it rains
right.
there, the subway is
And
like
probably
fucked,
like-
I
right?
can't argue that.
Yeah.
We're probably going to find that if one person hadn't been born and taken some action, like there would be no Central Park. You know, it might have been just one person really driving it. Let's find out. I'm
fine.
really making things up now.
Like taken action? They take.
Did I say tooken?
You say tooken.
What?
Tooken. It's not tooken. So whatever word it is, it ain't tooken.
I think that's a
Heck,
Hobbit
no.
name. Yeah. No.
Tooken.
Tooken?
J.R.R. Tooken.
Tooken.
You ever read Tooken? Well, Bilby and Frodom. When did Central Park
What's
Get
the
built.
deal? What's the deal
Get
with Central Park? people?
designated
And why?
to not build on?
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez. What?
So
do we have?
you're on this road trip across America.
I'm on a road trip, and leaving LA after 14 years.
When's the last time you did a
Yeah.
big road trip like this?
Probably when I moved out to LA. Like,
15
Road
years
trips
ago.
are fun, but you don't sign up for them every summer. That's for goddamn
right.
sure. You're
yeah.
not like, hey, you
like
want
I've
to just
driven up
drive?
California. Like I would do like California road trips while I was living in LA, but I never did like another
I
bigger.
regret that we did not because I love that road trip. Oh,
The one or the 101, both.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one.
Beautiful.
I mean, after a few years, the one
Was,
you can't
like,
go all
falling
the way up
apart.
the one because it was like a mountain fell on it or
Right.
something.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
had some
There's
issues.
always at least one part blocked off because they mudslides and stuff. But
Yeah,
you just got to check it. But yeah, beautiful drive.
the one is amazing.
Monterey,
Mm.
Carmel by the sea.
yeah. God, good.
California is incredible.
It is.
What a fucking
It is
landscape.
nuts. It's like Mediterranean life, you know?
Yeah,
But,
you feel like you're on the Mediterranean.
yeah, it's phenomenal. What's not to love?
Yeah, I get why Lewis and Clark got there. They're like, we got to take this from somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was their call. Okay, here's what the Central Park information is. Central Park, this is from ChatGPT, so take it with a grain of salt. Central Park was officially designated for construction on July 21st, 1853, when the New York State
Wow.
legislature approved a bill to create a public park in Manhattan. The city acquired the 778 acres of land through eminent domain displacing around 1,600 residents,
Yeah, there it is.
including African American and immigrant communities.
Yeah, I feel like I remember hearing about that one.
Everything comes with a,
So they didn't say, let's never build here. They said, let's kick these poor people out, and then we'll have a park
Well, it's also
for
like
our rich kids to play in.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's 100% a tactic that they still use today. That happened in our hometown. There was one section of our hometown that had like, it was like four parks, like right in the same block, basically, because they didn't want low income housing to go there, so they just zoned it all as parks.
Yeah,
And
Mitchell.
like, very much a thing they
that's
do.
interesting.
Mitchell Park. And then
Yeah.
it's named after the guy who like fought to not let poor black people live in our town. So like we're like growing up going to Mitchell
Wow.
Park, and then we learned later like, yeah, it's named Mitchell because he's the fucking guy who
Did they end up renaming it though?
That's insane.
maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it might have changed its name, but I don't
Yeah, there's a
know.
lot of dark history in those. Like when you're like, this is a really nice area. Wow, like what a great neighborhood
right.
to grow up in. That
You're
means
right.
like at some point they were like carrying pitchforks and like pushing poor and like black
Brown,
and
yeah,
brown
and
people
yeah.
around and like just it's
Yeah,
so,
America's
it's terrible.
got some, a lot of wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
But then what's
sure.
cool is you walk around like a
Yeah.
place like Manhattan and you're like, fuck, like this is everybody. I'm seeing every single type of human
True.
in like a single block, and we're bumping into each other. Like I
All
love New York
languages.
for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's-
like
it
it
is
doesn't
a-
account for like the lack of generational wealth. Like I was really happy to see that case. What was it, Bruce Beach or something?
Oh, yeah, in Manhattan Beach.
yeah, in Manhattan Beach, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
That was a case.
that was a really
used
cool
to be kind of a
case of like giving land back and also paying for lost revenue that family would have inherited. Like
from owning a home in Manhattan Beach.
well, it was
Yeah.
a
Right,
home.
I
It was a
mean,
successful event space. It was
Yeah.
a successful like all sorts of things, like a hub of culture.
And what was
they,
it? The city had sort of just like
They
took
just
it?
they essentially rezoned it and made it a public beach, and then confiscated the like hotel, resort, everything. But they were just like,
wild.
yeah, they didn't want a thriving black business there.
yeah, I remember when they got that back, it was big news.
Yeah, and they got like a huge settlement, and it's awesome. Like,
Yeah, and then I think they sold it too.
I think they sold it.
so they
yeah,
just like
turned around and
fucking
sold
yeah,
it.
just cash out. We're not restaurateurs.
Which I don't know if that was the move, because that land is like pretty primo in Manhattan Beach. But I guess you can't just like keep land in this country without paying like absorbent amount of money on it all the time, right? Like facilities maintenance, taxes.
Yeah, and it's like work.
inheritance,
It's like a
all-
full time job
yeah.
just to like own that much property. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's a lot. So
sure.
I'm.
So you had to
I
cash
would
out and just
imagine
take like
cashing out
millions of dollars.
is an easy yes.
Smart.
Yeah.
Just like divvy up the money amongst who gets it, and like boom, we're done.
But
Like,
that's
we don't
also
have
like
to be
the
in
short
like
game,
negotiations
though.
forever.
That's the short game. That's definitely not the long game.
Yeah, no, it's
So
short
I just
game.
feel like maybe that wasn't the move, but who knows? I'm not going to crunch the numbers and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't know what kind of situation they're in anyway. If they're living paycheck to paycheck and it's like, but like your grandkids will have this money, and you're like, yeah, but like I'm eating fucking Campbell's soup. Like I'll just take
I
$10
need
million
money.
right now
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens. I'll
Yeah.
roll the dice.
I'll say-
Can't hold
Maybe
that
I can
against
figure
anyone.
something out.
Yeah.
All right, so your road
All
trip.
right.
So you're coming across America.
Yeah, next stop, Santa Fe.
Next stop,
Super
Santa Fe.
excited for you to
Heading
experience
out
that.
tomorrow morning.
Get yourself some
And,
like pinion wood or something.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Burn around the
excited to
house.
just explore. I've heard there's some cool little shops, museums. Maybe I'm gonna try to hit up a hiking trail.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw there's like a cool little mountain a little north of Santa Fe, so I might do some of that.
Well, be careful.
And
It's
then,
cold out
yeah.
there. It'll
Yeah,
be
I
cold. It's
heard.
higher up. It's like,
I was looking up the weather. I was like, oh wow.
yeah,
It's
you
gonna
might
be
need more
cold
than
out
that
there.
beanie you
I
got.
need a couple jackets. You
Oh,
know, we got
yeah.
more of
Take you
those
to
things.
Goodwill. We can get you layered up. Not in LA anymore.
No. Yeah, I'm excited though for like a change of weather. It could be cool. Like just seeing the scenery change up through.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your whole life is changing. You're in a big state of change,
This
which
is
is very
true.
exciting.
Yeah.
You
Like
don't
how does
seem
that? Well, how
stressed,
does
though.
it feel? Yeah, how you doing with things like that?
I kind of like it. I don't know. Like I'm all right. I'm doing all right with it because I just feel like that's just how life goes sometimes. Like I guess I've just like become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
Hey, That's
And I
great.
think that can be a skill set for
Yeah.
sure. Just being adaptable, like ready for change, and yeah. So we'll see, but I'm
Cool.
feeling good.
Yeah, like when you're
For the
driving.
most part, yeah.
What are you thinking about?
I guess just a lot like how it got, like all the things that had to happen to kind of like get to this point. And then also just like it's kind of exciting, like not knowing exactly what could happen next, right? It's kind of both. It's a little scary, and it's also a little exciting because anything can happen. And as long as, I kind of like keep staying true to what I want to do, and surround myself with great folks and good energy.
It's funny, the word exciting, like excitement, in the recipe of excitement, there is a sprinkle of fear. Like it's a little scary. Excitement is always like, it's a little like, whoa, it could be too much. You know? Excitement is
I think being scared is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a very human thing, and not a lot of people like admit, I think there's like a weird culture of like, you don't want to show that you're scared. But I think it's okay.
But
it's okay to be
being
scared.
brave is being afraid and doing things anyways.
Right.
So you have to kind of accept this reality of how scary
you have
shit
to
can be.
be scared and do it anyways.
Yes.
I like that. I've seen a lot of that out there.
But you also hammered out a pretty major piece, and you got a new job.
Right.
You got hired for a new remote gig, which I feel like will really keep your head in a bright, happy place on the rest of this road trip, instead of like that wondering, contemplative, like
True. It's
worrisome.
that cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that worry cloud just floating away for the rest of this, which is so nice.
Yeah. So that helps for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited for you. It's so fun to do a reset like this, and like it doesn't happen often in life, and but when it does, it's cool because you get to, it's a blank slate. You get to rebuild and be like, okay, I'm not okay with this, and like reestablish your boundaries, and just kind of piecemeal together what that opportune schedule and lifestyle looks like.
100%.
It's a gift.
Yeah,
it's a real gift.
It is to like, I feel like just grateful to have like even lived in LA and had that experience,
Yeah. You were there a long time, right? Like 15 years.
Yeah, about
14 years, man.
So, I think it's just like, when you're reading a book, the main character goes through ups and downs, and they go through, tense chapters, fun chapters. I think that's just life. And I'm just, I'm in the road trip chapter.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it.
I have, some friends right now though that are like forced into losing their jobs. I'm about to experience like mass layoffs if they haven't already. And I mean, how different of a scenario versus like when it's an elective thing, or
but Brendon lost his job,
lost your job in November
and had to leave LA.
Right.
I forgot you've been handling it so well. I forgot that was the origin story.
Sounds like our friends just have shitty attitudes.
No, but
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I think, and maybe, I mean, it's a little more recent for them. So hopefully they can have like a similar experience to you, and just have that same path.
It's never ideal. Like you always hope to leave on your own terms, and
Yeah.
But sometimes what I've learned is it usually does lead to something better, or it like it always kind of like turns things look differently to you when that happens, and so it kind of just changes your perspective. It's not ideal. It's never fun. It can be stressful, right? Like looking for a job, super competitive right now, but it usually can have.
But your mentality is crucial for that.
True.
If you think you're never going to recover from this, like
then you're never going
to recover from it. But yeah, you have an opportunity to be like, I think you have control to make anything that happens to you. Like you could make this actually turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you.
How
like,
you respond,
you'll eventually say,
goes a long way.
And then that turned out to be great because I figured it out.
Ignited and I ended this thing in me that
But that's not to discount the frustration that happens along the way. And I think there is something real.
And the brutality of what's
you had mentioned too, like how at the end of the year or leading up to the end of the year, the company was like doing all these things and talking about all the great performances and all the momentum and all the things that were like working well, and so you kind of had the rug pulled out from under you. And I just relate to that. Like, with my job pre-COVID, doing event production and like, some other parts of that role, they all came to a crashing halt. And I don't know. It was like in some ways I was kind of ready for the break, but wouldn't have asked for it, and was like, it was good. It allowed me to move.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't change any of it, but I did always feel like I didn't like end it on my own terms,
Yeah.
which is annoying.
It's not a
little
great feeling for
like
sure.
it was like you're kind of backed into that job, and like I like missed that job for a long time, and ended up kind of getting back to it. So it doesn't really matter now, but. Yeah, it's funny. It all has a way of shaking out. Is I guess the takeaway of it all.
Right.
Yeah, and but you wouldn't change it, like you said.
No,
you know?
and you
And
can
it's
either
okay to
resist
feel
it,
like bad and not great
Yeah.
about that happening. It doesn't
Sure.
feel good to get, pushed out of companies or anything.
or like a bad
Like,
relationship. Like
Yeah.
We-
you needed it, even though it sucked.
Don't we have a line about like surfing the wave, or you can when the wave comes you can get hit, or you can surf it or something?
In
Did
the rain,
you and I make that?
down,
Or
down,
did we
down,
make-
down, or you can surf
Yeah.
it.
Oh, right.
Are we up or down? That's a
Yeah.
modern mystic.
That's
unreleased.
Ooh,
But are
yeah.
you on guitar? Did
I
you
feel
start
like
that
you
one? It
were.
does have
I
a
think
guitar
you-
on it.
Let's find it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember.
Is it old? Is it new? Do it turn up
Yeah.
into? Am I
remember
worth
you
it?
chiming in with that lyric, and I'm being like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Right, it can
Yeah.
knock you down, or you can
When
surf
a
it.
wave comes
Comes
around, it can knock
You
you
down,
down,
or you can surf it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like
that.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like it's kind of hard work to keep a good attitude. Like I think, like you
Yeah.
have to. It's hard work to say like
Yeah.
I'm going to stay positive through this.
You're
I'm
really
gonna
good
keep
at
going.
it.
I can do this.
I'm not.
It's like it doesn't come easy to me though. It's like it's work.
You have to work on it.
You
for
have to
sure.
work on it. Like it's not an effortless thing.
Yeah.
I don't think for anyone. Perhaps some people have like just a better, easier way to
Disposition,
do
yeah.
it, or something like that. But it's work. It's hard work.
For sure.
Like-
I'm not this, positive and happy all the time. I try to be, and I
Yeah.
think, historically, I tend to, look at the brighter things and try to focus on the positive. But yeah, I have days where I focus on all the bad shit and,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
Sure. Like I'm
go
just
down
gonna
the
say,
Spiral.
rabbit hole of,
Spiral a little
man,
bit.
I'm nothing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Yeah, of course.
I
We all,
think in life though, there's like such a myth of like you've got to do things, you've got to perform, you've got to deliver. There's got to be like these tangible things, and really, it's just like about living life every
Right.
day. Like that's enough. Like if you've done it,
Yeah.
you don't need.
Yes.
There's nothing more you have to be, other than this person in your little bodysuit doing your thing.
for
See,
sure.
that's the
Yeah.
zen. We were talking about this the other day because like we're
Yeah.
very ambitious people, and like I've been saying this, but like sometimes I look at ambition as like a disease that
Yeah.
some people have,
Yeah.
where it's like I must do, I must perform, I must create, I must
Like,
and,
okay,
I
that
have goals,
project's
I gotta
done, on to the
accomplish.
next project.
Yeah, like and but then there's like that, or like my brother, I was like telling him all my goals. He's like, He's like, I don't have any goals. My older brother, he's like, I don't have any goals. My goal is just to have a good day today.
And I
And I was
relate
like,
to Adam in that way a lot.
That is so good, but I'm just not that way. Like I got
mean-
longer goals and big goals, and I like doing
Right.
them.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. Here's what I think, because like Steve-O has the disease of ambition,
Very much.
like stage 4.
He's terminal.
Oh yeah, he's terminal.
Gotcha.
But like, and he's like, kind of talks about how happiness is like would be a negative because he'll be less motivated to accomplish things. So he's like, do I want to be happy? Which is the worst attitude I've ever heard anyone
Yeah.
say. But I was thinking about like, if let's say you're like a baker and your goal is to make the greatest pie ever created. So you're going to wake up every day and you're going to try and make that pie. Like you'll never make the greatest pie ever. So you're going to fail and you're going to keep striving for something your whole life. And like you'll never be satisfied, but like you can be content waking up every day saying, "Today I'm gonna make a pie. I'm gonna try to make the best
Right,
pie."
it's going to
ever."
be a little bit better today.
Yeah, and I'm just content with my plight to make pie. This is
Right.
my plight on earth.
This is my battle.
This is my battle. This is my
Yeah.
cross to bear. And so like my cross to bear is like I'm gonna make music and I'm gonna make movies. I'm gonna do these things, but I will never make enough that like fills this. I'm never
True.
gonna make the perfect pie,
It'll never be enough.
but I'll be content, or I'm really trying to be content.
In a life pursuit of those things.
In a life of pursuit, yeah.
Of those
A
things.
life of pursuit
Yeah.
that you never get to. You're never going to get there.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I kind of like that, yeah. Always be curious. Like, always.
Yeah, like content but not
Yeah.
satisfied. But this is my way of coping with my
Yeah.
disease of ambition. I still think what you said is the better way. This is like, because I don't have that, I'm going to try to do it this way.
We're similar in that.
You know, I've like gotten on my own case about like, oh, I should be more ambitious. Like, you know, I should write this book. I should do this. I should do that. Like, and then I do want to do those things. I do have ambitions and like life goals and things, but I don't know. I think my base is more like it's okay to just do your best today, enjoy your day, find moments.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Like little shimmers or glimmers, like noticing moments
Yeah.
of the day that bring you joy. Like,
And some of those other things might come with time too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, do them when you really want to do them.
right. Do
like,
them when you actually are genuinely, intrinsically motivated to do something and not when
Yeah.
you're like forcing yourself.
when you feel like you should.
yeah.
Like, wait for that time to
trying
feel
so
like.
hard to shed the shoulds because
Yeah.
they're so never ending.
Sure. And then like, it's all coming from here. Like no one's saying like, you better be doing that.
Right.
Like,
Totally.
but also I think as long as, as long as like fear isn't the thing that's stopping you. As long as you're not saying, I really do want to get on stage and do stand-up comedy, I'm just too afraid. Then you should go do it. Like back to the fear thing, you know, like you shouldn't just let yourself sit and not do it because the only thing stopping you is fear. And that fear is like,
On the other side of it is
yes,
the same thing.
the other side of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
It's
that's
really
where
not that crazy.
versus if you're like, I need to make $1 billion, like you don't, you know. But if you're like, I have this urge to do something, but I'm just too afraid to do it, then I think you should be ambitious and do it. So as long as fear is not the thing that's holding you back.
For sure.
If what's holding you back is like,
Or
I'm just
fear of
happy
a lot
and
of people
chilling.
let fear of what other people might think. People that they don't even know. People
Yeah.
that don't even know them.
People they don't even like.
Right. And they're afraid of what they might think. And
Yeah.
you got to get over that.
It's funny.
It's
Human
weird.
beings are funny. Little
Yeah, we're so
creatures.
like, what are people going to think if I...
Yeah.
This is literally, I keep going
It's
back
like they
to
actually
my-
don't care.
Yeah, they never thought twice about
Nobody
it.
cares.
That's the
Do
funny
what you
thing.
want to do. Yeah.
I saw a thing on Instagram that was like, stop trying to make people like you. You don't even like everybody. And like, yeah, that's true. Like, I don't like everybody. So why does everyone got to like me?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
My sister's advice is just like, do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it, because then you're always doing what you like. You know, you're always doing what you
Yeah.
want. And it's, I don't know, I'm just trying to lean into that like
powerful.
hedonist moment of
Yeah.
like, you know, there's literally, and it's so cliche, but like, you're not promised tomorrow. You don't know what's happening.
No.
And it's just, I think, I don't know, I've really leaned into that in recent years of like, you got to get your kicks where you can. Because
Time is precious. It's the one thing we can't get back.
it's all right.
It's the
and-
one resource. Once it's gone, what I just said, that second, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's back there.
Burned it.
So, yeah, you got to be a little more conscious
Yeah.
of...
There
Yeah,
is
get out of
something.
autopilot and just
Right.
like really focus on being in your life, you know?
Yeah.
Like do it. If you
Present.
don't like something, change it. If you hate your job, like don't go there anymore.
Figure it, yeah.
Figure out a
you gotta,
change.
But there is something with like discipline that can help. Like if
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to swim every morning, but if I just go swim and I make myself go swim, I'll be way happier the rest of the day. So like
Yeah.
the hedonist in me wanted to just lay in bed and stay there. And I could
And
say,
I think you should sometimes.
and I could say, yeah, this is what I should do. This is what I want to do. So this is what I'll do. But actually, if I got up, did yoga, swim, like these things I don't really want to do, I'll have more joy overall. And like, so
yeah, I think
I think doing things and like kind of forcing yourself to do things and like having discipline can
yeah.
increase the happiness.
I get what you're saying.
For
I think
sure.
you're right. There's definitely ways to like level up, and I think sometimes what we want is not in our best interest, and
Right.
you know how you choose to
Like I want to just eat
Address
Oreos
that.
all day.
right
And like drink beer and just
Sure.
like
Right, those urges.
sit around and be drunk and like watch TV.
Yeah, I mean, I think with anything, it's just about balance. Like, you shouldn't rot away in bed every single day. But, yeah, like, when was the last time you sat around and just, like, didn't race out of bed to
The other day. I
start
did.
working? You know,
The other day
I'm
I
not,
did.
this is a hypothetical.
I did the other day. I put a star on the
Question.
poster. I put a star on my poster.
I relaxed today. Gold star. I earned 1 gold star. My wife would be so proud of me. I relaxed for 22 minutes and then I got back before I had a call from 1 minute later. I don't know. It's just.
I think there is something to doing stuff you don't want to do, like working out. It like trains your brain to kind of builds up a callus to some extent.
And then you're more adaptable.
Right. And then doing the thing you don't want to do, it actually becomes a part of your routine and you just do it. It's muscle memory. You get up and you swim.
And you have better days.
Yeah. And maybe the hardest part is literally the starting it.
Always.
Once you're in it.
Always, forever.
For sure.
Always, for most things.
For sure.
When you just like, oh. But once you get there and you start, you started.
All I really have to do is like put on my swimsuit and like grab my car keys. Like once I've done those things, like now I will go to the car. I will get in. I'll go. Like I'll swim. I'll have a great time. Like all I have to really get myself to do is put my swimsuit on.
And that's the muscle memory.
And
like
then I'm
you
just
can
going.
just get to that.
Yeah.
The domino effect.
Yeah.
The whole thing's done. Yeah. It's powerful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of got out of my workout routine when I got laid off. So I need to get back in on that when I land.
There's an ebb and flow to it. And you got to forgive yourself when you do that too. That's the thing. Like it's good to have discipline, but like forgive yourself. Yeah. You're just you. You're not a robot, and like you're gonna have.
I was in a strucred routine, and then I, was not. So
right. So I'll say like, "Fuck, I should have worked out," and then I say, "I forgive you." Been forgiving myself more.
I love that.
Yeah.
How great.
Paul.
Yeah. It's not. It feels good. You say like, "I forgive you. I forgive you for you're not perfect, and you're forgiven."
Talk to yourself how you would a friend.
Feels good.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Amen.
I'm so glad we're figuring this all out.
Yeah, look at us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was something you said about making. Oh, like with cold plunges, they've done a lot of research on the cold plunge, and like the benefits it gives your brain. The more you don't want to do it, the more of those benefits you get. Mm-hmm. So if you're sitting there and you're like, I actually love the cold, I'm comfortable, you're not getting the same as if you're there like, I want to get out of this fucking thing so fucking bad.
But you're fighting it.
But I'm going to sit here for 3 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
like the person who's hating it is actually getting more out of it.
Right.
Like whatever those health benefits are. It's like survival proteins that fucking, shock proteins or whatever the fuck, I'm paraphrasing and saying it wrong, but there are some things like that. Yeah. So it's balance. Yeah. You're right.
It's a balance.
And like, how do you get yourself to do things you don't want to do, but then so that you can enjoy the things you do want to do?
Right.
I mean, I feel like I've built up, I don't know. It's hard to build. It's a trust thing with yourself, right? There's certain things I know when I say I'm going to do them that I will do them. And then there's certain things, even as I'm saying them, they're like, I can already sense the wiggle room.
It's
I'm like, I should work out today. But I'm like, I haven't worked out any other day. And like, when am I going to add it into like the same amount of time in my morning routine? I just know.
Right.
So I think, I don't know, how do you kind of build up trust with yourself and just get that like grittiness going so that, but I mean, I do. I feel like if I know I have to get out of bed at 5 a.m. to start a shift at work, like I'm not sleeping through my shift. Like I trust myself to do it. It's just some of the elective things that are like good for me that I know will like the habit stacking and like knowing that this is going to get momentum or like make me do something in a cheerful way instead of like begrudgingly. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's hard to be proactive. Sometimes you're just kind of doing all you can to just like get through it all.
Well, it's hard to start something too because you're like, this isn't a habit. So I'll work out today, and then not again for like 2 weeks, and then what was the point of that? And maybe I even hurt myself.
Out. Like the fact I always get hurt these days because I never properly stretch, and then also it's just like, why isn't it one and done? I did it. Can I just be fit now?
Right.
I just want to be fit.
Like, wait, you're telling me I got to do this 5 times a week?
Every day, forever?
But I'm motivated. Like my boss just turned 41 and she looks like fantastic. She's so fit right now. She's like, her discipline is showing, like she's been going to the gym regularly. It shows, she's so comfortable in her skin. And I feel like a lot of people I've noticed in life lately are like able to practice that discipline like into their 30s and 40s in a new way, like that they didn't have in their 20s and stuff. So again, going to this idea of like forgiving myself, I'm still developing these healthy habits.
For sure.
With that, I read this book, Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like starting a habit, like, let's say you wanted to start working out, like, get up and just for an example, do a single push-up, 1 push-up in the morning, and do that all week. And then next week, do 2 push-ups every morning. And then the following week, do 3. And then week 4, you'll be like, fuck this, dude. I'm not doing 3. I'm doing like 10.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I'm going to do 10. I'm
You're
right
fed
here.
up with kind of the inching into
Yeah.
it.
And then the next day you'll do 10. That whole week you'll do 10. And then the next week you're like, I'm going to fucking do some sit-ups after my push-ups. Like, but you started the habit
like
by
your
doing like
choice.
0, you know, like when I want to start working out,
Yeah.
I'll jump in the pool maybe for 5 minutes and then I'm coming home. That's it. And I'm going to try and do that just every day. Like, and then eventually I'll stay there for 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
I
like
that.
all it is, it's not about how hard you work out. It's just how much you work out. If you do it every day, if you do 10 push-ups a day, you're going to look pretty good.
This is true.
After like a year, you know?
Yeah.
Like your muscles just are always awake and ready for shit. And,
it's not always about like bulking up
No.
or training for anything. It's training for life. It's like just training for longevity
and we
so that you
have-
can continue doing things.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. We
Yeah.
haven't really gotten to the point where our bodies are like properly deteriorating, but it is coming, you know.
We're close.
It's
why
close.
not? It's better to get ahead of it, right?
Yeah,
And
and
that's what
that's
all
truly
this
how
comes
you-
down to.
yeah.
Right.
my buddy Zach Townsend that we toured with Steve-O, he's like our age. And he's like, dude, I just got to lose weight because I feel like
Right. I think I saw
otherwise I'm just going to like, I'm pretty soon to just be locked into just being a fat guy. You know, like I'm at a threshold where like I'm either starting working out or like I just got to embrace that like I'm just going to be a fat guy. Like I'm at that point in my life where it's like if I don't do something now, I'm getting locked in. We're getting locked into like a body, you know, like
Right.
like,
There's no going
Who are you
back.
going to be at 65? Like you got to decide like within the next couple years.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
There's
is
a window.
like those 10 push-ups a day. The difference between you at 70, if you started doing 10 push-ups a day right now or not, is like dramatically different.
for sure.
Which is what that book, The Compound Effect, is about. Like
Right.
just the difference over time becomes astronomical once you
Yeah.
go to like 20, 30 years from now.
I still feel that way, like regretting not putting more in, you know, my stock portfolio.
Oh,
in
right.
my
All that
20s,
kind of
you know.
stuff. Yeah.
Really
I
wish
wish
I would've
someone
gone-
had
I mean, I went
really
hard.
nailed that in.
I went hard a little bit. Like I have some retirement accounts, but like I wish I would have just fucking crammed it all in. I did the most I could
Yeah,
on my
it's hard to
matching
know.
campaigns, but
Yeah, you did good.
yeah,
And you
that's-
want to do stuff in your 20s. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
you're not always focused on saving. You're just like, I
sure.
want to do stuff. I want to go to festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I have $80 in my bank account, I think that's pretty good. You know, I
Yeah.
remember being that like broke. We're like
Well, yeah, I've had
80
moments.
bucks in there, dude. We are going grocery shopping.
Yeah, who wants Domino's?
And I will be getting
Yeah.
a beer for sure. Yeah. All right.
Life's fun. Life's fun.
What do you?
So
What are you
Santa
looking
Fe
forward to
to-
beyond and beyond Ohio?
Beyond Ohio.
This great mystery that's ahead of you. It's so much unknown, which is exciting. But what do you kind of
Just want to keep making music. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, let's.
So,
Why don't you guys chat a bit about everything you got going on right now?
well, so yeah, Paul and I've been making music for I don't know, many years.
many years? Yeah.
And so we're gonna have a new project coming out called The Midwest.
Pretty stoked. 12 songs. So yeah, Brendon, while he's here, we're mixing it and like putting some final touches on it and filming some content to promote it. But yeah, The Midwest coming soon. And they're dope. I'm really stoked on these songs.
Yeah, very
But
excited.
also, you guys have been working on sort of like creating your own record label production company.
Right.
Give
Yeah.
me that music.
That's correct. Thank you, Christine. Yes, we launched Give Me That Music, which we don't exactly know what it's going to be yet. Is it a
Still
label,
evolving.
a management company, just a collective,
Marketing agency.
a marketing agency? Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
really sure, but we know we want to do something, and it's
We know we want to help artists put out their music.
Yeah.
And just find creative ways to maybe do merch, things like that.
yeah.
I
And
liked
yeah, just support.
I'm sorry. I
No,
keep
you're good.
interrupting. I get so
Support the
excited.
artists. Go for it.
Paul was saying like because he's like, how many talented friends do I know that are just sitting on this back catalog of music?
Right.
And so this idea of like fast line or like streamlining and just putting artists on this fast track to release music instead of just like holding it until it's perfect.
Yeah, helping people release things.
Encouraging, yeah.
I really like that aspect of it.
Same.
Yeah, that's kind of the short term, at least for me, is like how many friends do we have just sitting on, like you said,
Yeah.
mountains and mountains
Yeah.
of really good music, and just to kind of help people get it out. So yeah, it's starting with ourselves, you know,
Yeah.
and getting all these songs out that we've been sitting on for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's been a learning process getting them to the finish line.
Yeah.
Well, I speak for everybody when I say we're very excited to listen.
Thank you.
Ooh, thank you.
Appreciate that.
For sure.
Sure thing.
Christine's on one of the songs.
Oh, yeah.
Modern
Yeah.
Mystics feature.
It's true.
A lot of features.
What is that song? Mirage?
Mirage. Yeah.
Mirage. Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, very exciting. All right, so we're going to go putz around Tucson for the day.
Yeah, gonna
Get some
go get
gelato.
some homemade
Can't wait.
pasta and homemade gelato. And yeah, just do our thing.
Let's get after it. Brendon, we love you. A
Love you.
big friend of the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Maybe
long-time
this
supporter.
is your 5th appearance or something?
Fourth, maybe?
Oh, you're giving
Love
JC
it.
a run for his money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back,
Of course.
as always.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, and Elk 2.0,
Cheers.
Elko Rancho.
Yeah.
Elko Rancho.
Elk Rancho? This
place is dope.
We're working on it.
You got to come through.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good night,
Love it.
everybody.
Good day.
All right.
Success.
We did it.
All righty.